Songs of a Great Migration, using literary devices and musical ideas to retell the history of the Great Migration. In this unit, students will explore the causes and effects of the Great Migration using a narrative plot structure and point of view to compose a song that retells history from the perspective of a migrant during the Great Migration. Students will generate musical ideas such as rhythms, melodies, and accompaniment patterns, and use literary devices to compose song lyrics, while analyzing the causes and effects of the Great Migration and population shifts in the United States during the early 20th century. Songs of a Great Migration is a digital literacy lesson in young audiences of Louisiana's history education through Arts Responsive Training Initiative known as HEART. Students will learn to evaluate sources and understand they are producers of information. The HEART initiative has 3 pillars, or areas of historical study, and this lesson will focus on the development of the modern era pillar.
So we talked about the Great Migration in Unit 3. We talked about the fact that it was after Reconstruction. What happened that caused people to leave? Okay, Xavier?
African Americans wasn't being treated right.
African Americans weren't being treated correctly. Okay, and then. So in this lesson, we covered the Great Migration. In the beginning of the lesson, what I basically did was I reviewed, because in the lesson prior to that, we actually covered the Great Migration. So I just reviewed, I asked them a couple of questions to make sure that the kids understood the concept.
And we follow up the review of the Great Migration, and this is when I come in and I introduce the narrative plot. So they use the key information, and we turned it into song lyrics.
Hello, how you doing? Good. All right, my name is Solomon Mason, and during this residency, we're gonna be using perspective and point of view to not only retell the stories of history, but we're gonna be using this to write a song. So we're gonna go. We introduce narrative into the Great Migration because oftentimes I think that with children in history, they're so far removed from it, it's easy to disassociate with it. But once you put yourself in the perspective like, hey, this person was your age when they dealt with this. These aren't some abstract ideas, these were actual people. And just like it happened to them, be lucky that it's not you. Imagine if it was you. And that's how we drive the point home to have them be more empathetic and actually care about what happened during these historical events. We're gonna start with simply writing the stanzas for each individual section. By the end of the week, we're going to combine all of our stanzas and we will have a song. For section 1, the main thing that I want you to focus on, besides the Jim Crow and segregation, we have the lack of economic opportunity, which forced people to leave and go to other places.
We work with the summarized version of the Great Migration. Then we move on to focusing on each individual section as opposed to trying to tackle it all at once. The first one would be the cause. And this is where the students would identify all of the factors that would lead up to this event. Next, we went to the migration patterns. We followed where people decided to migrate to. Lastly, we had the impact. And throughout each section, the student is gonna carry us along a journey so that when we read their narrative plot in its entirety, we have a full idea of what happened.
We're gonna be passing out some blank sheets of paper. Remember, when you're writing your lines, you are using perspective and point of view, okay? How would you feel if you had to go through some of these things, okay? So let's get started. Work as a group.
It's a group project, so it's really rooted in social emotional learning. So it gives the students a chance to express how they feel, their different perspectives, and give them a sense of community, a sense of belonging, like we're working on this thing together.
I'm running. See, I need my liberties, and it isn't cheap. So basically what I'm saying is they want freedom, but freedom isn't cheap, and they don't got that much money because they wasn't making money in the South. So that's why they was moved to the North.
As I was walking around the groups, I felt like I was enjoying it probably even more than the kids, to be honest with you. And then the kids would turn around and they would use this vernacular. It's like, oh, Miss Wilson, you got these beats and you got this. And I'm like, oh, maybe I do still have it in me. So I was really enjoying it. And I saw a light in my kids that I don't normally see. Oh, y'all think since I'm 63, I don't know?
Now, for the most part, people went to 3 different locations: Chicago, Detroit, New York, and every other city in between, all right? So just imagine, you finally made it. What is something that you would be hoping for? Khalil.
One thing that I would be looking for would be freedom of speech.
Freedom of speech. That's a strong answer.
It's very, very important to differentiate your instruction. Sometimes you have to bring other people in your classroom to make sure that you're looking at the needs of all your learners. I know Mr. Solo was an expert in his field. So when he came in, he brought his level of expertise and just enhanced what I already knew and brought a different way of teaching into my classroom I would not have done before.
It sounds like this would be coming from like a diary entry or something like that. So yes, keep going. Exactly. So once we finish our rough draft, section 1, 2, and 3, right? Or however many sections, because you can really shorten it or lengthen it. Then we go back, and that's when we start our editing process. This is when we start to take out unnecessary words, because the goal is for the students to say this to a steady beat. Once we do that, that's when we start the beat selection process. And this is when it gets fun. Make sure you find a beat that reflects how you feel, okay? It does not have to be a hip hop or a trap beat. I have had students that have done R&B. I've had students that's done it to a country beat. So we hand out the laptops, and we usually use YouTube and give the kids free reign to type in whatever beat or instrumental.
That's good.
Once they've decided a beat and that's the beat that they're sticking with, that's when they start actually rehearsing. So we get to see the students vocalize and use their lyrics. They're using inflections, their high voices, low voices, and this is when you really see the creativity. Like once they get past the I'm nervous part, they actually want to do it.
Jim Crow hurting me. Isn't it easy to see? Better living conditions up in industrial cities.
Economic opportunities. It's a major
Americans, life is so hard. They're in the comparison. Move to New York, Detroit, Philly. I can go anywhere because my options are endless.
There you go. There you go. Good job.
So who want to go first? Samaj.
So the culminating performance was when every single group got to go to the front of the class and show off their craft. Initially, they were kind of shy, but after the first group went up and they nailed it, every hand was up in the classroom. So the kids went up and they performed at the highest level. I mean, they really nailed it.
Driven team, this one. It's not enough. The job's not enough. A job, but it's not enough. Need money, but it's not enough. The great migration affect African Americans. Life is so hard. They're in the comparison. Move to New York, Detroit, Philly. I can go anywhere because my options are endless. It's not enough. Come on, girl. It's not enough. Hey. It's not enough. Hey. But it's not enough. Hey. It's not enough. At first, I didn't think I'd be able to do it. Like, make a whole song from scratch until when I got like the book and the resources that I needed, I found the way, thanks to my friends that helped me do it.
This is a major test grade, and to be honest with you, I think the kids kind of forgot because they were having so much fun.
The best part of the experience was coming up with the lyrics. When Mr. Solo came, it was broken down easier, like on a whole nother level.
Now, when they walk away, they can actually retain the information because they wrote a whole song about it.
So we didn't trick them the whole time into learning, and when they walk away, they like, I made a song, and I'm like, you learned chapter 3. Thanks for playing.